The first time I recognized, race and racism was, I'll never forget where it just like dawned on me. I was in like the third or fourth grade, and we're celebrating Martin Luther King Day, and my mom was like, "You're not going to school." And this is when it wasn't recognized as a national holiday, wasn't even on the calendar. And my mom and families in the neighborhood and black families, black and brown families, traditionally just wouldn't let their kids go because they wanted it to be a national holiday, not because we wanted to skip school, but we wanted it to be recognized as that. So I'm thinking about President's Day and all these different holidays, and you're talking about the story of Christopher Columbus, and the narrative now that when you look back and pull back the layers of that history, it was folktale, it was all false. And I look at Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and his history and what he stood for. Uh, he wasn't being celebrated, and I always wondered why. This as a kid, and I sat in that room and uh, I felt like why I had so many questions. And I'll never forget Mr. Wright. He stood up in the classroom. He was my teacher, and he was just like, we we don't celebrate that type of history. And when he said that, it just like it hit me hard. And my mom I went home. I told my mom what he had said. She came back to the school. She was like, "What do you mean that type of history?" And he couldn't give us an explanation, but I knew exactly what he meant by it. And my mom knew exactly what he meant. And it raised a lot of eyebrows in our household and in our community. And from that point on, we wanted to change that narrative. And now, Dr. Martin Luther King Day is recognized as a national holiday. And also, I was the recipient this last year of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Award. So that meant a lot to me. I'm Caron Butler, and I'm a champion of change.